segment, and this Friday we're training our eye on Mexico, where French President François Hollande is on a two-day state visit aimed at repairing diplomatic relations and developing new business opportunities. Now, after the transfer and release of French prisoner Florence Cassez, who was jailed for 7 years on contentious charges of kidnapping, Paris hopes to turn a new leaf and is working on gaining a better foothold in Mexico's thriving manufacturing industry. The world's 13th largest economy can be considered a promised land when it comes to the aeronautics and energy sectors. Authorities have already landed a host of international companies, with Canada's Bombardier the first overseas firm to transfer its production from Ireland and Japan. Well, our reporters Laurence Cuvillier and Mathieu Comin take us now to the arid landscape of Querétaro, a business hub just 200 kilometres north of the capital.
With its 5,000 employees, Safran, the French equipment manufacturer, is the largest employer in the aeronautic industry in Mexico. We are in Querétaro in central Mexico, in an industrial area entirely devoted to this sector, including Bombardier and Airbus helicopters, formerly Eurocopter. For several kilometers, it's all about aircraft. Here, Safran provides maintenance for the engines of 8 airlines. Elsewhere, the company produces motors and wiring. In the past 10 years, they have invested nearly $1 billion in Mexico.
In Mexico, we can find very young and very dynamic people who've just graduated from university. They're also very innovative.
This university is just next door. The Franco-Mexican campus trains highly qualified technicians among the hangars of equipment manufacturers, all made to fit the requirements of the French companies who participated in developing the curriculum and trained the teachers.
In Mexico, it's brand new, the aeronautic, in specific, the manufacturing. Because several years ago, we tried to keep the maintenance in the airplanes, and we have many shops for this. Many people are looking for the students, specifically the engineers and the operator technicians.
Here, students benefit from the transfer of skills. They learn French and hope to study for a time in France, thanks to an academic exchange program.
I'm taking part in a scholarship to go and study in France. It would be great because France is a country with many years of experience in aviation. It would be great to bring something from there back to Mexico.
But France is lagging behind. It is only Mexico's 16th trade partner. While visiting Mexico last July 14th, Laurent Fabius announced the creation of the Franco-Mexican Strategic Council, a group of experts and business leaders responsible for improving these business relationships.
What we try to do in this council, with participation from both governments, is to create a French preference in Mexico and a Mexican preference in France. We want to improve this potential, which is still not working as well as it could. The figures are not satisfactory.
This visit's announcements are modest but positive. The delivery of a new set of helicopters for the Mexican Navy and the construction of a drone factory in the north of the country. After a 5-year cold period in the relationship, both countries are finally willing to sit down and talk business.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by our guest, Serge Durand, who's General Manager of Airbus Helicopters Mexico. Hello, thank you for being with us on France 24. How much of an impact did the Cassez affair have on France's trade relations with Mexico?
You know, as industry representative, I cannot comment any political or private affair.
But this visit is aimed at helping build up relations. Did you feel a change in relations since the release of Florence Cassez?
I think I feel, and we all feel here in the French community, that the warm-up of the relationship between France and Mexico is a very good sign for everybody.
So why is Mexico such an interesting land of opportunity for France?
You know, Eurocopter and now Airbus helicopter has been present in Mexico for almost 50 years. It was in 1964 when General de Gaulle met Adolfo López Mateos, the president of Mexico, and we started this new era of relationship between France and Mexico. Of course, there was up and down, but we have a big fleet of helicopters of our brand in Mexico. We have about 400 helicopters helicopter flying in the zone, and we are supposed to support this fleet. And our presence in Mexico is not new. We just reinforce our presence because we take opportunity to increase market share.
And looking at this university and the transfer of technological know-how, long term, aren't you creating your future competitors?
I don't think so. You know, the world is changing quickly, and now we have a big opportunity in Latin America. We have competitors which are mainly from the United States. So we must be present, and the fact that we contributed to create this university, which is to me a benchmark, which has to be duplicated in the world, help us to produce better, help us to get market share, and this is a win-win strategy.
And we just heard young Mexicans there saying they hope to come to France. Isn't there a risk of sparking a brain drain?
No, the world is changing. You know, we have to favor the cultural exchanges. And so I saw a lot of young people who dream working in France, in Europe, in Germany. I see some French or German students who are working in Mexico. We have to live in this new world, which is a world of exchange. And I hope this new era between France and Mexico will be a successful one.
Now, there are some issues. Mexico clearly is interesting to you because it's in an interesting geographical place. The labour is possibly cheaper than in France. And also, it's a dollar zone. But there is one issue, which is security. Does that have any impact on foreign investment?
This is not impacting our investment, but we have to take care, of course. This is something that we have to take into account. This is not impacting our daily life. This is not impacting our investment. And, you know, we don't think short term. We think long term. We are in Mexico. We have been in Mexico for 30 years, at least as a subsidiary. And we are planned to be in Mexico for the 30 years to come.
And how much scope is there for growth?
The growth of the market share, you know, we in the last year, we increased by 1/3 our market share in Mexico as an Airbus helicopter brand, which is great, and we want to go on that trend.
So is this an El Dorado?
Sorry?
Is this an El Dorado for you?
I don't understand the question, please.
Well, is this an opportunity that you can't be missed and that you have to keep going with? Because France isn't among the first foreign investors in Mexico, so there's a lot of work still to be done.
We have a lot of things to do with Mexico. So we have to take all the opportunities. Mexico, you know, the number of helicopters flying in Mexico and in Latin America in general is very low. So we have to support our the Mexican people to get more helicopters. You know, last year there were 2 terrible, horrible hurricanes in the country, and we, as Airbus helicopter, help them to support and to rescue people with helicopters. We need more helicopters in this kind of country, and we want to contribute as well to this development.
Serge Durand, thank you very much for having talked to us on France.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for that.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, it's time now for a short break, but we'll have a full news update top of the hour. Stay tuned to France 24.